You are listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Okay, so we have been talking the last couple of days, last 3 or 4 days, about eating behaviors and eating addictions and the relationship to health and disease. Suffice it to say, the single most powerful way to reduce inflammation, to mitigate the symptoms and the progression and the appearance of all chronic diseases involves eating modification, changing how we eat. And this is not about guilt, and it's not about judgment, and I'm not Mr. Nutrition Guy. I'm just telling you the scientific facts. Eat less, get healthy. Eat smart, get healthy. Practice intermittent fasting. Eat only when we're hungry. Use fermented foods. Use branched-chain amino acids. Do the Suero V cleanse. This is where the ketogenic diet comes in. This is where caloric restriction in the ketogenic diet comes in. And while the ketogenic diet is stupendously important for Alzheimer's patients and seizure disorders and for weight loss, it's really a performance diet. This is why the Navy and the Defense Department are spending millions of dollars sponsoring ketogenic diet research. They're not trying to help fat sailors. They're not trying to help sailors with dementia. They're trying to improve oxygen utilization for Navy divers who are performing special ops and doing deep diving, which can cause nausea and physical stress and convulsions. According to Dr. William D'Agostino, who's heading this ketone research project for the Defense Department, experimental animals who get ketone therapy, which is basically gives you the same biochemical effects as the ketogenic diet, these animals demonstrate improved performance, greater resistance to low oxygen toxicity or hypoxia, which is the third point on our triangle of disease and a critical component of all degenerative illness. And the second point, our square of health, something we talk about all the time on the bright side. Anti-aging, anti-cancer, performance, athletics, bodybuilding, looking good, not having wrinkles, weightlifting, just simply feeling good and having energy and thinking clearly and having a spring in our step and having a zest for life all involve the same strategies. Eating less food, eating better, keeping blood sugar stable, oxygenating, exercise, leveraging the mind and the emotions and spirituality. This is no different from the strategies we need to reverse degenerative disease, to beat cancer, to reverse Alzheimer's and dementia and Parkinson's and Bell's palsy and autoimmune diseases and atherosclerosis and cardiovascular disease. And the dishonesty of the medical model denies this. It says, oh, you're sick, you need this drug. Oh, you're sick, you need us. You need our drugs, you need our diagnostics, you need our surgeries. That, my friends, is called medicalization, and it's evil. It's not fair. It's anti-human being for a physician to say you need a drug before you need oxygen, or you need a drug before you need to eat better, or you need a drug before you need to relax and you need to sleep. It's not fair. And as benign and as gentle and as well-meaning as our doctors are, and for that matter our pharmacists are, he or she is complicit in the anti-human being, anti-humanity nature that medicalization represents. The idea that we need to go for drugs before we need to go for oxygen, or we need to go for drugs before we need to go for the ketogenic diet or caloric restriction, or all these ideas that we talk about on the bright side as part of the bright side philosophy, it's just not fair, and it's not right. The strategies that improve performance for high-powered athletes and weightlifters and Navy SEALs are the exact same strategies we need to reverse cancer, reverse it, eliminate it, and Alzheimer's, and diabetes. And if you don't believe these things are reversible, then you haven't done your research, because they are. Cancer is reversible. Cancer remits. They call it spontaneous remission, as if it's just a miracle. But remember, it's just the way the body works. If you do it right, cancer goes away, even if you have it. Alzheimer's goes away, and quickly, by the way, because Alzheimer's, the brain is moving fast. So Alzheimer's disease symptoms can start to reverse themselves very quickly, in days, less than days, in 24 hours, if you see the subtle nature of it, of the reversal. Diabetes, heart disease, autoimmune disease, acne, eczema, multiple sclerosis, any chronic degenerative disease you can name is reversible if you do it right without your doctor. Without your doctor. Sorry, doctor. strategies that we talk about here all the time, they're effective. They involve zero medical intervention. And by the way, the medical model can't understand this. It's not like your doctor's dumb. He's not dumb. He just doesn't understand it. He doesn't get taught this. He's oblivious to it. When was the last time a diabetic got a prescription for the ketogenic diet, which we know 100% is 100% effective for diabetes, and quickly? When was the last time a doctor wrote one ketogenic diet, BID? The strategies of performance are strategies that the medical model laughs at. It calls it quackery. Despite the fact that their strategies, the pharmaco-surgical radiation techniques, has presided over a culture that is the sickest, the fattest, the most degenerated in the history of mankind. The medical model approach of lowering cholesterol with statin drugs and treating diabetes with SGLT2 inhibitors, blah, blah, blah. It's a failure, folks. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. We'll be back right after this. Don't go away.
Hi, my name is Nick Lupo. One World Whey has been by far the best protein that I've ever had. I take it 3 times a day. Once in the morning as soon as I wake, once for a pre-workout snack, and once for a post-workout recovery drink. It has helped me transform and sculpt my body into what I have now. I began taking the product about 2 years ago, and boy, let me tell you, I'm in the best shape of my life. I've seen major muscle mass gains and have 0% body fat. I have had people at my gym ask if I compete in bodybuilding because of how lean and muscular I am. I used to suffer from everyday aches and pains from hard manual labor my whole life, and arthritis that runs through my family. But One World Whey has helped me take that everyday pain from a 10 to a 3. Some days I feel no pain at all, just full of life and energy. It has also helped my skin look younger and healthier. Thank you, Synergistic Nutrition, for One World Whey.
Call 888-988-3325 or visit oneworldwhey.com. That's oneworldwhey.com.
It's no secret that pathogens such as bacteria, viruses, molds, and fungus can inflict severe damage in the human body. Fortunately, a new and vastly improved silver solution has been developed. Supernatural Silver is a revolutionary broad-spectrum antibacterial, antiviral, antifungal solution that can be used inside the body as well as on the skin. Supernatural Silver is unique and superior to colloidal and ionic silvers, using a patented technology that is highly effective against colds, flus, infections, food poisoning, and yeast, in addition to many other pathogens. Supernatural Silver is scientifically supported, extremely safe, and is the #1 choice of thousands of people for immune system support. Find out how Supernatural Silver could change your life. Go to supernaturalsilver.com and use the promo code HEALTHY for 20% off. That's supernaturalsilver.com. And like us on Facebook.
Don't know what's in your drinking water? Better get a ProPure. With the Pro 1 G2.0 all-in-one filter, remove over 200 contaminants, including fluoride and lead. Taste water the way nature meant it to be. Clean, crisp, and refreshing. See the complete line of ProPure water filtration products. There's a ProPure system for you. Visit your authorized ProPure dealer for details on our current free shipping special or ProPureUSA.com. That's ProPureUSA.com.
Okay, so we're talking the ketogenic diet, which is a high-performance diet. It's a weightlifter's diet. It's a bodybuilder's diet. It's an athlete's diet, and we are all athletes. Just getting our butt out of bed in the morning is an athletic event, and especially if we're sick, we have to think like an athlete. If a high-powered athlete is counting on millions of dollars by having a healthy body, they're going to be doing everything they can do to keep their body healthy. And you better believe high-powered athletes understand about the ketogenic diet. And it's as simple as eating less calories and making sure you're getting calories from good quality fats. That's what the ketogenic diet basically is. The ketogenic diet is a low-carb, high-fat, moderate protein way of eating, and it is hands down, the most effective way for a sick person to eat. And you will notice results. If you are dealing with any chronic degenerative illness that involves pain, that involves inflammation, please understand it's needless. This is the tragedy of it all. You don't have to suffer. And there's nothing your doctor can do. There's nothing the medical model can do. But that doesn't matter. We can do it ourselves. And it's not just for sick people, for healthy people who don't want to be sick. The ketogenic diet is the most effective, powerful way to eat. We talk about it all the time, and I haven't called it the ketogenic diet because the way I look at it, it's a little bit, I call it the way I prefer people to eat is the modified ketogenic diet. It's not as strict as the ketogenic diet, but it's basically the same idea. The ketogenic diet is a way to maximize energy from the foods we eat to get more bang for our buck. And to understand the effectiveness of the ketogenic diet, you can think about the gears on a bicycle. If you're in high gear, if you're in 10th gear, I remember when I was a kid, they used to have 10, that was the big deal to get a bike with that had 10 gears. I don't know what it's like today. I haven't really ridden a bike in a while, but if you're in a high gear, you'll notice that the gears are turning rapidly, but you don't have as much power. If you're in low gear, the gears are turning slowly but more powerfully. That's called torque. High gear gives you low torque, but lower gears give you more torque. Even though the wheels are turning more slowly, you get more power. And that's what the ketogenic diet is about. It slows the body down, but you get more power. It's a low gear, high torque diet. The wheels aren't turning rapidly. The biochemical wheels in the body aren't turning as rapidly, but they're turning more powerfully. In terms of energy in the body, we don't want speed, we want power. In terms of metabolism and biochemistry in the body, speed kills. That's why small animals with fast metabolisms existing in high gear live much shorter lives than large animals with slow metabolism who are existing in low gear. Flies and mice and squirrels and guinea pigs, they're in high gear. They're in low torque. They live much shorter lives than elephants and hippos and giraffes and horses and human beings. It's a question of torque. It's a question of force. It's a question of bang for your buck. Fat contains way more energy than carbs. Fat has twice as much energy. And by accessing the energy in fat, we don't need to spin our biochemical wheels as much. Thus the fallacy of the low-fat diet that I still hear people talking about. I still hear doctors talking about low-fat. The high-fat ketogenic diet is a high-torque, low-gear diet that allows us to access the energy stored in fat much more effectively than our standard American diet, than our standard way of eating. And not just the fat in food, by the way, and this is very important. The ketogenic diet allows us to access the fat on our butts. It allows us to access the fat on our guts and on our bodies. It allows us to access our fat asses. It allows us to turn our fat butts into sources of energy to run our heart and run our brain so we don't eat candy bars and bread and Gatorade and Jamba juices and smoothies. And the net effect is a calming down of the body and at the same time an improvement in the body's ability to use energy. And this is why the ketogenic diet works for everything. You're going to hear about it more and more. In the coming days and months and years, you're going to hear about the ketogenic diet for Alzheimer's because it works. You're going to hear about the ketogenic diet for obesity because it works. You're going to hear about the ketogenic diet for heart disease because it works. You're going to hear about it for diabetes because it works. But it's not just for illness. It's just a healthy way of eating. It improves all functions whether we're sick or not. The ketogenic diet began as a strategy to mimic the success of fasting. It was used to treat epilepsy. It's a modern version of the ancient fasting protocol that is a well-known anti-seizure strategy that's been recorded in medical annals since the pre-Christian days of Hippocrates, who lived in the 5th century BC. Fasting for seizure disorders is actually chronicled in the Bible. Jesus heals a boy of seizures by prayer and fasting. I think it's Matthew somewhere, where Jesus exorcises demons that cause seizures by having them fast, by having the boy fast and pray. Don't forget about spirituality. That's important as well. It wasn't until the 20th century that the medical community got wise to the power of fasting. There was a guy named Bernarr McFadden, who's considered the father of physical fitness. He was one of the early proponents of fasting. He was kind of like an early version of Dr. Wallach. He called the medical profession an organized fraud. Yes, in 1899, he called the medical profession an organized fraud. It's not just modern observers who think that medicine is a fraud. It's not just me who thinks medicine's a fraud. As early as the late 19th century, Bernarr McFadden called it an organized fraud, and he said people could live to 120. He published a magazine that was dedicated to physical fitness and taught readers how to work out and how to maintain their health. He was kind of like a Jack LaLanne guy. He told them how to cope with disease. He told them how to eat right. He had pictures of himself wearing a tiny little Speedo. Yes, in 1899, he was wearing a little Speedo with a six-pack abs and bulging muscles. They didn't know anything about, bodybuilding wasn't a big thing back then. But this guy in 1899, you can Google it. You can see pictures of him. Bernarr McFadden. Bernarr, B-E-R-N-A-R-R, McFadden, M-A-C-F-A-D-D-E-N. And his magazine was filled with pictures of him in a little tiny swimsuit with bulging muscles and big old biceps and six-pack abs. Bernarr McFadden advised people to exercise and watch what they ate. And he was a big proponent of, surprise, surprise, fasting. Intermittent fasting. 1899, folks. And his magazine had pictures of sickly men and women. And he'd take pictures of them, sickly men and women, and then he'd take pictures of them later, before and afters, after they became healthy and strong, using nothing but diet and exercise. No drugs, no surgeries, no diagnostics, no going to the doctor. One of his followers was actually a guy named Charles Atlas. I remember when I was a kid, there were all these pictures of, advertisements of Charles Atlas in the back of comic books. You maybe remember this. Don't get sand kicked in your face. Don't be a tiny little skinny guy. Send away for Charles Atlas books on how to get healthy and how to get strong and how to lift weights. Charles Atlas was the first Mr. Universe. All right, we'll finish up when we come back from our break and take your phone calls too. 1 in 2 Americans have a musculoskeletal condition. How can this possibly be? 50% of us are affected by some kind of muscle or bone issue. 126 million Americans, 1 in 2 adults are affected by a musculoskeletal condition, comparable to the number of Americans living with chronic lung or heart conditions, costing an estimated $213 billion in annual treatment. This according to a new report issued by the United States Bone and Joint Initiative. How can we be so unhealthy? We got more doctors per capita than any other culture on the planet. We spend more for drugs, more for devices, more for diagnostics, more for tests. And this crazy health situation is occurring right before our very eyes. We're dissolving. Oh, but we have a new screening test. Here's another good one. Screening test for chronic fatigue syndrome on its way. So now you can go to the doctor and he can test you. He can take out some blood and charge you money and tell you you're tired all the time. Do we really need this? Folks, what the heck is going on? This is craziness. And at the same time, from the American Journal of Preventive Medicine, study finds dancing halves the chances of death from cardiovascular disease. You can dance your way to health. When was the last time somebody went to the doctor for cardiovascular health issues and got a prescription for dancing? This is what I'm talking about. These are the simple little things we can do to stay healthy. It doesn't require much, folks, because the body at the end of the day is designed to be healthy. We are healing, renewing, regenerating systems, and this is the most beautiful thing. This is the good news. This is the bright side. We are designed for health. The body is a renewing system, and it doesn't take much, and it certainly doesn't need to be medicalized back into health. Okay, 844-236-6010 is our number. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Let's go to Alabama and welcome Julie to the bright side. What's going on, Julie? Good morning.
Hi, thanks for taking my call.
Sure, what's going on?
I started the ketogenic diet about 3 weeks ago.
Nice. What'd you do?
And,
tell us some specifics here. How'd you do it?
I'd already really changed my diet because I had given up gluten, okay?
Okay.
So that was a step that made it, in other words, I didn't just leap into it.
Okay.
So I have been eating mostly things like meat and eggs.
Okay.
And then...
Where's your fat?
Carbs.
What kind of fat are you getting?
Well, I add cheese. And, for instance, I put full cream in my coffee now.
What about coconut oil?
Coconut oil, yeah, I'd use some coconut oil. And butter. I use more butter than I used to.
You know the ketogenic diet's a high-fat diet, right?
I do.
Okay.
And so, okay, so that gets to one of my questions. Okay.
Okay.
And for carbs, I don't have very many carbs. I have like spinach.
Okay.
You know, a little bit of spinach, and I try to have some avocado every day.
Good for you. Avocado's awesome. Power food. Truly a power food.
And then I have like a few recipes I've gotten from a website that has ketogenic recipes. Okay, so after 2.5 weeks, I did you just strip it, you put your urine to measure the ketos, you know?
Yes.
And I didn't measure any ketos.
Well, you're not burning fat then. Then you're not burning fat, so something's up.
Okay, so that's why I've got to ask you some questions. First question is it the absence of carbs that is the crucial thing, or is it the combination of...
Yes, the combination.
Carbs plus taking in a lot of fat?
Yes, it's the combination. It's the combination that you're looking for. You want to be burning fat. If you have carbs, if you're just low carbs, you're just going to be tired if you don't make sure that you're getting energy from somewhere. So you just got to get some energy, or you got to induce some fat burning. You want a high fat diet. You want a high fat intake, is what you're looking for. So it doesn't sound to me like you're getting a lot of fat, and all that protein may be creating a lot of work for you, for your body to do. So you want to make sure that you're getting enough fat. That's the key. In combination, as you said, in combination with low carb. Do a couple tablespoons of coconut oil in the morning, maybe a tablespoon in the middle of the day. Get some MCT oil. You know what that is? MCT.
No,
Get some MCT, medium chain triglyceride oil. Start doing a few tablespoons of that. You can get it at a health food store, or you can do coconut oil, which contains MCT oil. Either way.
Okay.
Butter's great, but you can't. Butter's kind of heavy. You can't eat that much butter. I mean, butter's great, and you can't eat that much whipping cream either, probably.
Okay.
So I would be doing more coconut oil, more MCT oil, and then are you doing salt too? That's another important thing. Make sure you're putting salt on your avocados and salt with your fat.
Okay.
That'll improve the burning. That'll improve the fat burning.
Okay.
Salt.
Okay. And then my
Go ahead.
tangerine's got a lot of carbs. So
are you
what do you
not really? I think there's how much? There's not a lot of carbs in there. Like
7 per 2 scoops, but I'm overweight, so I have to have more than 2 scoops.
You don't need 2 scoops. No, ma'am. You don't need You don't necessarily need 2 scoops, and 7 grams of carbs isn't a lot of carbs anyway. It's about a teaspoon, a little over, about a teaspoon and a half. So that's not a lot. There's not a lot of carbs in there. 2 scoops is a huge amount, first of all, and 7 grams is not a lot. But I don't even do 2 scoops. You know what? I do in the morning, on my BTT, every morning I wake up, I do about, maybe 2 tablespoons of BTT. I don't really measure it, so I just eyeball it. So I'm guessing about 2 tablespoons. Man, I'm on fire from 2 tablespoons of this stuff. And I don't even do 2 tablespoons, really, because I sip on it slowly. I add it to water, and I sip on a water bottle. It lasts me like 3 or 4 hours. So you don't necessarily need that. You want to find a place where you feel comfortable, where it tastes good to you, where you have energy. And don't worry about 7 grams of carbs. That's not a big deal.
Okay. All right. I've noticed a lot of cramping is a negative thing I've noticed. You're
probably taking too much all at once. Are you doing you're doing 2 scoops all at once?
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't do 2 scoops all at once. Absolutely not. And I know it says that on the label, but I don't do it. That's not how I do it. And if you notice cramping, that's a sign that you're not absorbing it. So you want to find a place, a dose where you feel comfortable, where you have energy, and where it tastes good. And everybody's going to be a little bit different. Some people do 2 scoops. I've heard people are fine with that, and I've heard people don't mind the taste. Personally, I find the taste to be really strong, so I have to use a much smaller dose. So you have to find a place where it's comfortable for you. And I'm telling you, 2 tablespoons for me is, I'm on fire after 2 tablespoons. I can't. I don't even know. I couldn't handle more than that. And that's sipping on it slowly.
It's more than 2 scoops, isn't it?
What's that?
2 tablespoons is probably about 2 scoops.
No, 2 tablespoons is 1 scoop. A scoop is 30 grams. Yes, a scoop is 30 grams officially, and a tablespoon's 15 grams.
Okay. All right. So let me just reiterate, confirm. So if you're consuming more fat and less carbs, you will actually lose weight faster than if you are fasting.
I don't know if I'd say that. The thing about fasting, though, is you can only fast for a couple of days or 3 days for most people. So no, if you fast for 1 day, you'll lose 5 pounds for most people. You know, I personally, I'll lose 7 or 8 pounds if I fast for 1 day. If I fast for 2 days, I'll lose 10 pounds. So you can lose 4 or 5 pounds, pretty much most people in one day's fast, unless there's something going on in your body where you're inflamed or there's some kind of degenerative issue that's keeping the weight on you where your cortisol's up. That might be a little tricky. Hey, we're back on the bright side. We lost Julie. If you're still listening, Julie, the ketogenic diet is a way of resetting your body's fat-burning machinery. It allows your body to burn fat more effectively, and it takes a little bit of time to kick in. Fasting works pretty quickly. Fasting works in a day or two. In one day, you should be able to lose 5 pounds. The ketogenic diet is a way of upregulating fat burning. When you give the body high amounts of fat and low carbs, fat-burning enzymes and fat-burning chemistry become stimulated, so the body becomes a more effective fat burner. That's the idea of the ketogenic diet, and then the net result is the production of ketones, which are super-duper high energy. Fasting is a little bit different. When you fast, you tend to lose weight, and you tend to lose weight pretty quickly. With the ketogenic diet, it may take you a little bit of time. They're both effective for losing weight, and they're both effective health strategies. The ketogenic diet's a more long-term thing. The fasting technique, you get quick effects, and they're both important. Intermittent fasting, once every 10 days or once a month or a couple times a month, you have to decide what works for you. The ketogenic diet as a daily way of eating. The ketogenic diet upregulates fat-burning machinery, fat-burning chemistry. That's how the ketogenic diet works. That's the mechanism of the ketogenic diet. Okay, let's go to Ohio and talk to Gretchen. What's going on, Gretchen? Good morning.
Good morning.
Hey.
Yes. I had one question, and then I wanted to tell you something else.
Okay.
I grit my teeth. I find I'm all of a sudden I'll realize that
I know what you're talking about.
Done this since childhood that I could remember. I just wondered if there was anything.
I gotcha. Are you drinking caffeine? Are you drinking Coke, coffee, any of that stuff?
No.
Okay,
I only take the regular YGY stuff.
That's a sign of excess energy in the body. It could be. It's usually associated with caffeine, but it could be cortisol too. Something's going on with your stress levels. It could be sugar. It could be your diet. It could be something. Any other health issues, by the way?
Well, I called you about 8 days ago.
Yeah.
Because I was having pain in my shoulders.
Okay.
And at the time, you told me, well, I've been diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis.
Okie dokie. Now we're talking here, my dear. So it sounds like you're under some serious stress, and that means cortisol, and that can definitely cause a grinding of the teeth. This excess energy trying to be burnt off. Cortisol speeds up the body, and then there's all this excess energy, and so the body will contract and do all kinds of funky things to burn off that energy, and one of the things that can happen is you can grind your teeth. You need to relax your body. Activate the relaxation nervous system. You know, we always talk about the parasympathetic nervous system. You got to start activating that with all the relaxation techniques we talk about. When you notice that you're grinding your teeth, that's an indicator. Treat that as a cue for you to sit down on the couch and start practicing slow, deep breathing. In fact, you can use your teeth grinding as a signal from your body that you need to relax. Follow me?
Okay.
Okay. Does that make sense?
Yes. And I've been... I don't notice that I'm particularly...
I know. That's the problem. It's probably happening at night, too. It's probably happening when you're sleeping.
No, I don't ever wake up or notice it.
No, you won't. No, you won't wake up. That's the thing. Teeth grinding happens at night, and you don't notice it. Most people grind their... Yes, exactly. Have you been to the dentist lately?
Yeah, he's never mentioned that.
Has he ever mentioned that your teeth are...
my teeth.
Has he ever mentioned that your teeth are flat, getting flat?
Nope, he's never mentioned that.
Ask him about that. Find another dentist, because if you're grinding your teeth, they're going to get flat. And it'll be obvious in a dental exam. So if you're noticing here's the thing, though. Let me just say one thing, Gretchen. If you're noticing it periodically in the middle of the day, rest assured it's happening when you're not noticing it. Okay, and that includes night. And many people do grind their teeth at night. Usually associated with caffeine and excess sugar, but it can also be associated with cortisol. And if you have an issue with rheumatoid arthritis, chances are pretty good you also have an issue with steady state low levels or steady state higher than normal levels of cortisol.
Well, I don't take anything with caffeine except that I have been drinking, but this is just the last 2 years. The Beyond, not Beyond.
No, it might not be caffeine. I say usually it's associated with caffeine, but if you have rheumatoid arthritis, okay, let's talk about rheumatoid arthritis for a minute, okay, Gretchen? What is rheumatoid arthritis? Do you know? Like what causes it?
Actually, the rheumatoid arthritis, I think, is under control. I've been on YGY for 2 years now.
No, listen, Gretchen, sweetheart, listen. I'm not beating you up here, so you don't have to defend yourself. I'm just asking you, just from a chemical perspective, do you understand how this is occurring, the rheumatoid is occurring, what causes it?
I've understood after I've done this for years now. They diagnosed me back in the 90s. But lately, I have been told that it's caused by a bug.
Well, you've been told wrong, okay? You've been told wrong. You've been told wrong, all right? It's not caused by a bug, all right? It's caused by something that's getting into your system that's triggering your immune system, that's triggering the defense. It's something that's getting into your blood that's triggering immunity. How is something getting into your blood? Is it crawling in through your nose? No. It's coming into the blood, most likely, through the digestive system. You got a food problem, sweetheart. Okay? And you got to know that. You have to know you had a food problem. You probably had it all your life. So this has created a sense of emergency in the body. As the wrong foods, or food particles really, get into the blood, what happens is this triggers a red alert in the body. The blood is a sacred space, as we say all the time. When food particles get into the blood, this triggers a red alert. The immune system is marshaled to protect itself from these food particles. And you get these things called circulating immune complexes that are floating around in your blood, which are basically combinations of food particles, and immune cells. And these things float around in your blood, and they start to deposit in various areas of your body. One of the major places for these deposits to occur is in your joints. That's called rheumatoid arthritis. It can also deposit in the thyroid, it can deposit in the kidneys, it can deposit anywhere really, but typically it deposits in soft tissues and in the joints. That's rheumatoid arthritis. So rheumatoid arthritis is an eating issue. It's primarily of foods, but secondarily there's a broken down digestive lining. And that's where you got to be working on. But the point is your body is in red alert. It's in an emergency standing. It's an emergency mode. And while the things you're doing you may be heading in the right direction, the things you're doing are helping. If you're still grinding your teeth, that's telling me the body is still in a red alert mode. And that's not a good thing. Body doesn't do its best work in red alert mode. It protects itself and survives, but it doesn't thrive. It doesn't do all its best work. And so the grinding of your teeth is an indicator that you've still got something going on in there. And if anybody tells you it's a bug, that's not true. It's not fair, because then you think it's a bug. I've heard the theory, by the way, that it's a bug. And then they give you antibiotics. So what does that do? That messes up your digestive system even worse.
No, I never took antibiotics.
Well, good for you. But that's what most people, with the bug theory, they give you low levels. This is the dumbest thing ever. They give you low levels of doxycycline or low levels of a prescription antibiotic to treat the bug. And that just makes your digestive system worse. And Pharmacy 101 is you never give somebody a low level of an antibiotic, ever. That's the way you set up bacterial resistance. So good thing you didn't do that, but I'd be working on food, my dear, and I'd be using the probiotics, the Biolumin Nightly Essence, Ultimate Enzymes after meals and between meals. After meals to help you process foods, because part of the problem with autoimmune diseases is incompletely digested food particles from a broken down digestive machinery. You don't digest your food completely, and these little particles that are undigested kind of leak through the blood. They're called peptides. So instead of proteins basically being broken down completely into amino acids, they're incompletely broken down, and you get these multiple strings of amino acids called peptides. They get into the blood. The body goes, "Oh my God, there's peptides in here," and the immune system comes along and in the blood, and it starts to surround those incompletely digested proteins, and those incompletely digested proteins then deposit in the joints. That's your rheumatoid arthritis. That's why fasting is an incredibly helpful technique for rheumatoid arthritis, or for all autoimmune diseases for that matter. I'd be looking at the digestive system. And I want to get one more call in, Gretchen, but thank you so much for your call. If you want to talk to me personally, send me an email, ben@ksco.com, and leave your phone number. I'll give you a call. All right, let's go to Denise in Florida. We've got about a minute, Denise, so you got to go quickly here. Oh, geez.
Thanks, Ben.
Denise, sweetheart, I'm sorry, the music. No, we're ending. What were you going to ask?
Oh.
Maybe I get you quickly.
Cortisol levels. How do you lower them? Or
Relax your body. Breathe. Oxygen. Reduce your sugar intake. All the things we talk about here. Reduce your sugar intake. Slow, deep breathing. Hot water. Emotional strategies. Visualization. Naps. Anything you do to relax your body. And especially reducing your intake of sugar. Also, fasting is another good strategy for most people. Fasting can help reduce cortisol. All right, I got to end here. That's it. That's the music, Denise. I apologize. I'm Pharmacist Ben. Thanks for listening. Have an awesome, beautiful, wonderful, spectacular day. We'll talk to y'all later. Bye for now.
I'm Nick Soboleski, a Select Quote agent with a true story that could save you hundreds of dollars a year. A woman named Linda just called. Her husband, Ray, has a $300,000 group life insurance policy, but is changing jobs and can't take it with him. Well, I impartially shopped the highly rated term life insurance companies we represent and found Ray, who is 41 and takes medication to control his cholesterol, a 10-year, $500,000 policy for under $26 a month. That's almost twice the coverage for less than half of what he had paid. If SelectQuote hasn't shopped for your life insurance, you're probably paying too much.
For your free quote, call 1-800-403-4885. That's 1-800-403-4885. 1-800-403-4885. Or go to SelectQuote.com. We shop, you save. Get full details in the example policy at SelectQuote.com/commercials. Your price could vary depending on your health, issuing company, and other factors. Not available in all states.
Are you worried about your mom or dad living alone in their house? Hi, I'm Joan London. Listen, I know how difficult it is to find senior care for someone you love. That's why I recommend a free service called A Place for Mom. They are the nation's largest senior living referral service. Call A Place for Mom today.
To receive free information on senior living communities in your area, call A Place for Mom at 1-800-704-6182.
A Place for Mom offers free one-on-one advice from local advisors and a personalized list of senior living communities you can visit. If you have questions about senior care for your mom or dad, there's a place for answers, A Place for Mom.
Call A Place for Mom in the next 10 minutes to get your free ebook on financing senior care as well as free information on senior living communities in your area. Call 1-800-704-6182. That's 1-800-704-6182.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Are you tired of commuting to a job that makes someone else rich, working harder than ever, but getting nowhere? Do you hate spending hundreds of dollars every week on daycare, having someone else raise your children? With our opportunities, you can start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss, work from home, and live a happier life. At Be the Boss Network, you'll find hundreds of work-from-home opportunities that you can literally start today and be earning money as soon as next week. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You get to be the boss. Get out of the rat race. Work from home. Go to freedom106.com right now and change your life today. That's freedom, the number 106.com. Go to freedom106.com and start earning money as soon as next week. You be the boss. Go to freedom106.com.
Serious investors and traders want to make 81% return in 60 seconds? Use the same secret algorithm professional hedge fund managers use to make billions of dollars of profits. Turn $250 into $4,903 in just 7 clicks of a mouse. Our tool is so simple that my 82-year-old grandmother can use it to make insane stock market profits. Go to BigBuckRiches.com. Watch the free video before the hedge funds make us take it down. Go to BigBuckRiches.com. From the Robert Allen System, current returns not indicative of future results.
Attention citizens. This man has received national attention for accurately predicting every major financial trend, including the market crash of 2008. His name is Harry Dent. And in his newly released book, he is making even bigger and bolder predictions that have the potential to devastate the world economy and your personal wealth. You can get a free copy of Harry Dent's bestseller, The Demographic Cliff, containing never-before-published information by simply visiting www.harrydentresearch.com. Again, that's www.harrydentresearch.com.
Heart disease kills over 600,000 Americans every year. For heart health, Ben Fuchs recommends CardioFX.
CardioFX is a source of the B-complex vitamins. There's 120 milligrams of vitamin C per dose. So you're going to get your vitamin C, you're going to get your B-complex in the CardioFX. The CardioFX is also a source of sulfur in the form of N-acetylcysteine. Sulfur deficiency can lead to elevated homocysteine, and it is thought to be one of the major reasons why vegetarians are at higher risk in some countries, and based on some studies, for heart disease than folks who eat animal protein. It has something to do with the lower sulfur content of vegetarian diets, and you will get sulfur in the form of N-acetylcysteine in the CardioFX product. N-acetylcysteine can be converted into taurine. So all in all, it's a pretty well-rounded cardiovascular nutritional supplement.
Concerned about heart health? Order CardioFX by calling 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470. Or on the web at brightsideben.com.
No other network provides the level of customer service we do. When it comes to radio advertising, we are your one-stop shop. And no matter how big or small your business is, we can help. Email us at advertise@gcnlive.com, and an experienced advertising executive will help you take the first step towards driving more customers to your business or website. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
Serious investors and traders want to make 81% return in 60 seconds? Use the same secret algorithm professional hedge fund managers use to make billions of dollars of profits. Turn $250 into $4,903 in just 7 clicks of a mouse. Our tool is so simple that my 82-year-old grandmother can use it to make insane stock market profits. Go to BigBuckRiches.com. Watch the free video before the hedge funds make us take it down. Go to BigBuckRiches.com. From the Robert Allen System, current returns not indicative of future results.
My dad was 59 when he collapsed from a heart attack late last year. Just this past August was when we spread his ashes on the St. Croix River. I loved my dad, but boy was he stubborn. He hadn't been to the doctor in over 25 years. His excuse? He simply couldn't afford it. He wasn't a rich man by any means. At less than $107 per month, libertyoncall.org would have been the perfect alternative for my father. Don't wait. Go to libertyoncall.org right now, for not just your sake, but for the sake of your loved ones. Again, that's libertyoncall.org.
Sciatica, lower back pain, hip pain, poor posture. If you suffer from any of these problems, get ready to relax. Introducing an amazing product that's been in the market for over 25 years, the Sacro Wedgie. It was invented by a football coach using a common-sense osteopath technique. He created this device to help his athletes by isolating and supporting the sacrum, which is the keystone of our anatomy. This wedge-shaped bone is in the center of our hips, where a lot of pain starts. Simply relax 20 minutes daily on the amazingly simple Sacro Wedgie and let gravity do the work, helping muscles rebalance and start releasing nerves. Sit in the Sacro Wedgie at the computer or while traveling to help correct posture to finally help relieve those stubborn aches and pains for only $33.95. It's made in the USA, so click the family-owned website at sacrowedgie.com, spelled SACROWEDGY.com, or call 1-800-737-9295. That's 1-800-737-9295. Relax your back pain away with the Sacro Wedgie.
Are you worried about how dangerous the world has become? In these days of terrorist attacks, natural disasters, or even a future collapse, you need to be medically prepared to keep your family safe. I'm Joe Alton, MD of store.doomandbloom.net, where you'll find an entire line of uniquely designed medical kits and supplies for when help is not on the way. For everything from individual first aid kits to the ultimate family medical bag, go to store.doomandbloom.net today. That's store.doomandbloom.net. You'll be glad you did.
CardioFX from Longevity is designed specifically to promote optimal heart health. That's why Ben Fuchs recommends it.
You might want to think about using the Ultimate CardioFX, which is a source of taurine. Each capsule in the CardioFX has got a good dose of the B vitamins. It's got 4 major B vitamins in there: vitamin B12, niacin, vitamin B6, and folic acid. Numerous research studies have shown that the B vitamins and homocysteine, that toxic chemical that builds up in the body under B vitamin deficiency states, numerous studies have talked about lowering homocysteine as being far more relevant for protecting the heart than cholesterol numbers. If I was dealing with heart disease, I would be making sure I was getting getting enough B vitamins, I was getting enough vitamin C before I even thought about dealing with cholesterol or LDL or HDL.
If you're concerned about the health of your heart, order Cardio FX from Longevity by calling 866-735-2470. That's 866-735-2470. Or on the web at brightsideben.com. That's brightsideben.com.
By now you know that wireless technology like cell phones do in fact pose dangers to the health and privacy of everyone. Block-It Pocket's wide range of products are unmatched in providing the protection you deserve. No scare tactics, just common sense. BlockItPocket.com offers quality American-made options to alleviate and eliminate these invisible dangers. Learn more at BlockItPocket.com or call 888-315-9618. BlockItPocket.com, enhancing health and privacy.
Is negative content or comments on the web affecting your personal or professional reputation? Unfavorable comments, embarrassing pictures, videos, legal documents, and negative articles can ruin your personal life, your career, or your business. It happens a lot, and it's just not fair. But what can you do? ReputationDefender.com can help protect your good name. Get a free consultation now. Call 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Call right now for a free expert reputation analysis. It's easy to squash the unfair attacks with our patented system, and the analysis is absolutely free. Make the best things about you jump out in searches. Protect your personal and professional reputation, your business, and your income. Get your free reputation analysis from ReputationDefender.com right now. Call 800-831-0771. 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. Or visit ReputationDefender.com today.